Welcome to Time to Go. So we are now live on another stream. If you remember, in the last stream, which was stream 7 I believe, we had an issue with the printer. We installed the new extruder. The printer wouldn't start, and it did start up eventually after I'd reloaded the configuration file in the Creality Clipper interface via the PC. So in this video I just want to go through that and show you how I got the printer up and running again. So let's go over to the desktop, which is here, and this is the screen, and the screen here is in black and white. And I found in the Creality Clipper interface, you can go to configure and go to other settings. In here there's a setting which says switch theme. I'm currently on theme 1, you can see there, and now I'm going to put this to theme 2, and theme 2 is a lot more easy to see. So if you have one of these Sonic pads, then it might be something you like, the different screen. And if you go back to the home page, you can see it's a lot easier to view. So yesterday, as I say, we had a problem, and if I go to the desktop I can explain what the problem was. It appeared that the printer wouldn't recognize the Sonic pad. So when I looked at the printer configuration file, which is here, and if you connect up your Sonic pad to a network, you can connect it via your laptop, and you have to use this IP address 192.168.1.102, and if you type that in your browser you should get this main page, basically the same control you have on the local Sonic pad. I must say I'm no expert in this. I haven't been using this for very long at all. So this is what you have in the printer configuration file, and basically this tells the stepper motors how many steps to use, what direction to go, speed, etc. One of them being extruder, which we changed yesterday. The original setting was 27.5. We had to change that to 7.95 to get the right extrusion, because this new extruder is a 3:1 ratio rather than a 1:1. This file here, after here, all this information here was not there. It reverted to its original printer configuration. Here is the original printer configuration file. Here, and if I open the new printer configuration file, which is here, you'll see the difference. Now I don't know why this disappeared, but I can show you the difference. If you look in these two files, you will find, if I go down here, this is the one with the macros in, which you have to put in after you reload the firmware. In this file, it only goes down to pin 6, PC6, it goes down to here. So what will happen, this one here is the default configuration file. This is a configuration file with the macros for stop, start, pause, and also it has a virtual SD card path here that has to be put in. So without these, the printer won't work. So what I did, I copied this one like so, and I pressed Ctrl+C to copy. I've just done there. And when I went back to the Clipper interface here, or I think it's called Fluid, I just selected all these and I said Ctrl+V, and when you press Ctrl+V, that will put the new configuration into this printer configuration file. And when you do that, you need to save and restart, which I'm going to do now, but I want to show you the screen while I do that. So this is the screen. If I press now save and restart, you'll see the printer will go off, and it's saying reconnect the printer. I was saying that because it's just downloaded the new configuration file, and after I did that yesterday on the other stream, it started working. So happy days. And then I went to the print. Let's make sure this works. Print, USB, and I just selected one of these files and print. Now, I don't know why the configuration file went. It has happened before, which is very, very strange. So if it happened before, it probably happened again, I reckon. So I've just got to keep an eye on that. I just want to go through a few of the settings that I found in this screen. If I go to the home page, here it gives you the details on this Creality Sonic Pad. It gives you temperature of the nozzle. It's currently 163. It's going up to 215 before it starts to print. Bed temperature is 57. It needs to get to 60. And this is the current position of the nozzle. The speed is 100%. Flow is 100%. Fans are 0 at the moment, but they will start up when it starts running. And it hasn't got an estimated printed time yet, but it should have an estimated printed time when it starts printing. And it's going to be 1 hour 13 minutes apparently. 40 layers and a speed of 50, which is pretty slow. And what we're going to do in future videos, because this is Clipper, we're going to do some resonance tuning on this once it's all set up mechanically and we've got the new E3D extruder on. So let me just see what we can do here. You've got only, if we press the adjust page, adjust screen, we can adjust the Z offset. What the Z offset does is when you start a print, it may be that the nozzle is not quite right level with the bottom of the bed. So instead of it being 0.2 millimeters or 0.15 from the bed, it might be 0.25 millimeters. And you can manually make adjustments on the fly here while it's running with this setting here. The speed, we can speed the printer up and we can also slow it down. And we can adjust the flow, plus or minus, while it's running. We can also adjust the temperature of the nozzle. You can change that to say 210. Like so. Or we can increase the temperature or whatever. Or you can just press 5 increments of 5 or increments of 10. So we're going to leave that at 215. It's a bit high really for PLA, but it's alright for now. If you have an Ender 2 or any of the Creality printers, getting one of these screens, the Sonic Pad for them, it gives you a little bit more information, and it also uses Clipper, so it can speed your printer up, but it has to be mechanically right. And I've not had this for very long, and I'm only learning with it, so I can't tell you whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, apart from the fact that currently I've had 2 times where the configuration file has just disappeared out of the printer, and that's not very good. So that's one thing. I don't know what it is, but hopefully I'll find out in the future. So let's go back to the screen and see what else we've got on here. Go back to home. We've got a configure button here. Now it has a camera. There's no camera plugged in, but you can plug a USB camera into this Sonic Pad, which is quite handy. It's got a time, and for some reason it says the printer's unknown, even though it selected a Ender 2 Pro on the main screen. It doesn't know it's an Ender 2 Pro, which is strange. This button here is a kill switch, so you press that, it stops dead. And let me see what's in here. That's just settings for the camera, and we're not going to look at that because we can't do anything with that. Camera control, you can't change any of the camera settings while it's in motion, apparently. And other settings. It has a lot of settings in here. A lot of them I don't know currently, but I'm going to find out. When I find out, I'll let you know what they are. The screen break, I presume that is when the screen goes off, how long you want it before the screen goes blank, before you have to touch the screen again. I've set that to never so it stays on all the time. You can change the language to English if you wish. Theme switching, which we've seen what that one does. That just changes it from black screen to a white screen. And it also has a pause timeout, 2 days, which sounds a lot. If for some reason the printer goes into a pause state, it doesn't give you an indication of that until 2 days, which is quite a long time. I'm going to change that to 1 hour, but I can't do it while I was printing. So my current version of that I have installed is 1.0.6.49.145. I'm not sure what the new version is, or if there is any new versions, but what I might do is check that and do a stream or do a little video on me updating it if it needs updating. There's a thing called one touch changeover. I have no idea what it is. If there's anybody who is watching the stream or has watched the stream, if you have any more information on this screen, then you could tell me what these settings do. It would be much appreciated. We have our advanced options here, and in advanced options we have display macros, console, and this is where you can do your P&ID calibrations. Now for the nozzle, such as this, an E3D nozzle or whatever nozzle you got, it has a heater, and it has a PTC which controls the element, and the P&ID is a tuning loop which when used properly and set properly, it controls how the temperature rises and levels out to the set temperature. That's called the proportional, integral and derivative tuning. So we also got that on, we can do that on the bed as well, and I'll probably do a video on all this. The resonance measuring, we're going to do that as well once we get the once we start working on increasing the speed of this printer. You've also got here limit sensors for your X, Y and Z, and we also have here, which we can't change it now, but I'm going to stop this print because I want to show you something here. This is interesting. I'll stop this print like so. Take this off. This is only going to be a very quick stream. I just wanted to show you why we had the issues yesterday and how we got around it by just reloading the printer configuration file to the Sonic Pad. I didn't know that at the time. So now we stopped that. I want to go back to configure, because on the other stream, live stream 7 I think it was, we fitted this extruder on the new extruder, the 3:1 BMG clone extruder, and we altered the rotational distance in the software. Now you don't have to go into the software if you don't want to, because in here, in the advanced settings, if we go to advanced options, you can go down to extrusion configurations, which is here. If I click on there, you will see we can change values in here. Now currently the pressure advance is not set on this, and the pressure advance controls the extrusion rate as it gets to the end of a line and then stops and then comes back again. So as it's slowing down and speeding up, you have to change the rate of flow of the plastic coming out of the nozzle as it slows down, and then also you have to change it as it speeds up. And these pressure advance settings can change that, and when I get into that, we will look at changing that as well once I know exactly how to do it. So this value here, which it says rotational distance 7.95, this is the value we were changing in the previous stream. So you don't need to go anywhere near the software, you can just do the changes here. So if I noticed that before, it would have been a lot easier. So that's something handy to know. Display macros. if I've just pressed display macros, and it says this feature is experimental and implementation may cause the printer to malfunction, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to turn that off. Console. I'm not sure what console does, but I'm going to find out what that is eventually. And IoT, I don't know what that is, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and have a bit of learning on this screen, have a bit of playing around with how it works and what it does, and then I'll make a video on what we've learned. So yeah, that's all this video is about. I'm going to leave it there, so I'm going to close the stream. Have a very good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.